Right, we got the bobber on the dyno. So I'll let you know what we did, how we got on, and how much power it made. As you can see, the bobber's in bits again. I've taken my X-pipe off just so that I can weld that bung in there, look. So before I just had one wideband oxygen sensor in there, but because I'm going on the dyno, I want to be able to measure both sides, so I've stuck another bung in there. I still only have one wideband O2 sensor on the bike for the AFR gauge, but what I'm going to do is, the bike's running pretty good now and I've got it mapped pretty well, but I've only been measuring it on one cylinder because my X-pipe's not merged. So now I'm going to swap it over to this other cylinder and actually compare the two readings. And if they're very similar, I'm actually only going to measure from one cylinder when it's on the dyno, because I know that both cylinders are in tune with each other, and that will save a lot more time and a bit of money. I'm also looking forward to making some headers so I don't actually have this X-pipe at all, because I'm getting really fed up of taking half the bike apart just to get the bloody thing out. I'm not sure if I've shown you this before, but this is where I've got my oil filter for the supercharger. It's tucked behind all of this lot here. The only thing I'm not happy about is it's very close to this X-pipe. So really what I want to do is I want to get rid of the X-pipe and make some proper headers, so none of this is here, and I've got more room under here as well. But for now, that's where my X-pipe is, and that's where my other bung is. So I'm just going to swap the lambda probes over now. So I've now switched that to the other side.
What are we doing?
We've got the bobber, SBW mechanical look, and we're going to get it on the dyno. We did lots of runs and we got lots of dyno footage, but it's all very similar, so you could have an hour-long video watching it all, but it's just all the same thing of us doing a dyno run, remapping and flashing the ECU, and all that business. There was a lot of messing about, getting the air-fuel ratio right, taking fuel out here, adding fuel here. It was really quite rich and smoky to start with, but it was also running very lean at the top end. And we did see 130 horsepower, but it was way too lean to really be safe. And this was before we've actually optimised the timing. We haven't actually done that yet. We actually thought we'd hurt the motor at one point, especially when I took fuel out of it instead of putting fuel in it and made it really lean. There was a lot of messing around, and because of the boost hose we had trouble with, it kept blowing off. Had quite a lot of aborted runs, and we got to a point where the bike was getting hot, it was smoking heavily out of the breather, and didn't want to play the game anymore. So I thought I'd better call it a day and go home.
You all good?
Yeah, it's just died. I'll be right. I've got a friend behind me, so I'll be right.
Too easy.
Thanks for stopping, mate.
Have a safe one anyway, right?
See ya.
So in the end, we settled for 120 horsepower at 92 foot-pounds of torque, which I think is about 124 Newton meters. So it's quite an improvement. So that's where we're at now. I know what sort of power the bike's making, and I know what I can get out of it. And I'm going to start optimising the timing. We might even do that at a drag strip next week if there's enough time. There might not be. Or I might build some spicier maps with more timing in it during the week and then take them to the drag strip with me as well. I'm not sure yet, but we're definitely going to run it at drags with this street tune we've got on it now and see what we get out of it. So don't forget to like this video, comment, and I'll get back to you. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Oh, and of course, on the way home.
Well, just on the way back from that dyno session, and me fuel warning light was on, but I didn't think nothing of it because I've been flashing the ECU no end of times, and that the fuel light was always on after a flashy ECU. But it didn't go out. I didn't think much of it until the bike stopped on the highway. I've run out of fuel. I think it takes quite a bit of fuel on the dyno.
After getting a bit of fuel in it, managed to get home, and I've been out for a ride today and it rides absolutely fine. It's not smoking at all, and I've done a compression test and that's all okay. So if you're in the Brisbane area and you're looking for a dyno, or you want to get yourself some very high quality iPhone lubricants, then go and see Simon at SBW Mechanical. And have a great day.